do.
All right, I'll do this disclaimer while Ralph does the music.
Oh yeah. Let me go ahead and share.
While you're talking about what you will do, I'm just going to do it. Hey, everyone, we're just having fun here. Don't smoke. That's all.
Oh.
There it is. Oh.
We did it. Another fantastic professional intro.
Ralph, I've been to Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I know exactly where you are, and that's like a beautiful town.
Wow.
Dude, I've never heard of this town before. It's strange how much is going on here. Like, we were here the other night and there was so many bands playing.
Yeah.
And this is like a one road town.
Yeah.
It's not a big town at all, but there's so much happening. I don't understand it.
It's very artsy. You know what? I swear
wild.
to God, I think, because I was there, I think 4 years ago, I think I texted Lex about it. Because at the time we were doing a lot of road shows, and I think I texted you, and I was like, I'm in a town in Mississippi that we have to come to at some point, somehow.
Ooh, all right. Put that on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is and I know the venue that we could do a show at for sure. There's a venue here called the Juke Joint.
Oh.
You know, driving through upstate, I know when me and Sean were visiting Jason, we were thinking about something like that would probably not be bad. I mean, it would at least be fun. I know it wouldn't be a crazy moneymaker, but to do little bar gigs in like little towns would be, I think, really interesting and a great way to travel America.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think
you have to pick your towns very nicely.
I don't think you would have to.
I don't. No? That's what I think. You could just the smaller ones would be really, I think, really cool they'd be excited to have something that came directly to them.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, sure.
You know,
that's
in Thailand right now. I think that's because there's no tourism or anything. I know the couple of shows that we've been able to pull off outside of Bangkok has been exactly that. Like easily sell out really quick because they're just excited to see something.
Yeah.
And, and that might be an idea after COVID or while it winds down to, like do something like that. That might be an interesting way to get out.
Well, I was talking to our first guest that'll be coming out in a few minutes about doing some stuff up in Ithaca. So
it's a great example, right? I don't think. By the way, also, because I've gone through a lot of America, but I don't count me being in a place, like I don't say, oh, I've been there, unless I've eaten a meal or taken a shit. Those are my two qualifications to count me actually being there. Either I took something with me or it left part of me.
But taking a shit in a town, it is in a way you feel embraced by that town because they provided a service to you of a place where you could go and feel safe.
I'm most vulnerable and they didn't take advantage of me.
Yeah.
Thinking about that, Jay, you were talking about because you work at a gas station,
outdoor,
which is like usually how you experience a town, right? What do you think, real quick, before we ask Jay the question? The percent of towns based off of, instead of shitting or eating, just spending time at a gas station. What do you think the percentage is? Do you think it's split 50-50? How many, or even way more? You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
I'm saying like
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you're.
I think I know what you mean.
You could drive through a town, nobody even remembers that. You might stop to get gas, right? Now, so stopping to get gas at a place, and that's the only thing you ever did in that town, or eat and shit in a town. One of those two. Which did you think that you've done more of? More cities.
I gotta apologize because I stopped paying attention. But I'm interested in what
I froze up, so I don't know what you said.
Start over.
No. We'll move on. We'll let all the audience, they can ponder it and understand and put it in the comments.
Lex, I want you to please try to explain it just one more time, and let's see if we really can get it.
There are three types of towns on a road trip, right? The town that you can eat and shit in, right? Eat or shit in.
Yes.
And the third would be you just got gas.
Oh, yes. Okay.
The difference, what's the scale? Is it evenly 33% across the board, or is it 50-50? You know,
Well,
shit eat?
That
Yes.
are we taking an inventory for ourselves of what we have done more, or are we guessing how many we think there are in the country?
Well, how many towns have you rode through, Ralph, that you didn't take any notice of? And then how many towns have you rode through that you went to the gas station and you took a shit and because you're on the road right now, so you're
living this.
Yeah.
Right now, I would say, you know, only one out of every 3 towns do you stop to eat and shit, and then most towns are gas.
So
Most
wow,
places
see,
are
look at
just
that
gas.
percentage.
Because you get gas everywhere.
Yeah, you gotta get gas a lot. That's what I was. Yep. All right. Are we all in consensus? Everyone, raise your hand. We can move on.
Well, I'll say that I now understand the premise of the question.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. You working at a gas station, I'm so fascinated with it. Is this your favorite job you've had?
Not my favorite, but most interesting. Like because I definitely like to people watch, and like there's lots of interesting people in like a small town in upstate New York.
I'm gonna ask you a question that you heard prior to us going live, but Ralph didn't hear it, so I'm saying it for Ralph's benefit because it's such a good question that I think he's gonna love. What has working in a gas station taught you about humanity?
That like 30% of humanity doesn't like to wear a mask. And they just walk in. I've seen the most interesting and ingenious ways of people trying to like make impromptu masks. Like I call this one when people walk in like this, I call this the creeper. I've actually had a woman walk in and talk to me like this. And then like for her to breathe, she opened her fingers and like was like and then, I've had a guy come in and wear his mask over his mustache, like his mustache was being protected. And, dude, so it's just weird. And the whole time I'm sitting there just like looking at him, and I have a mask, and I'm wearing my mask so I can laugh my ass off behind the mask, and nobody knows.
I mean, I feel like the one thing I found is that I don't know, maybe other people have a different experience, but like I've gone through. We've spent the most time so far in Florida, and everybody's like, nobody cares in Florida. And there's definitely like, you know, when we were in Key West, it was definitely like full on like Mardi Gras in Key West. Like, but like people are, it is in everyone's consciousness. Like everyone is thinking about, okay, like I don't go an hour without seeing a mask. Like it's everywhere. Like people are definitely thinking about it, and they may be more or less lax about it, depending on the density of where they are, and you know, and the politics of where they are, blah blah. But it's definitely in the consciousness everywhere. Everywhere. There's not a single place I've been where people are just like, we're not even thinking about it.
That's why I think we would be welcomed most places if we went to do shows, because it's like.
Yeah.
When I don't like people's descriptions of America are so extreme, which isn't to deny that extremism isn't there, but it I think it inflates the notion that every place is extreme, and no place in the middle of America is sort of like conscientious, you know?
Yeah, I'm both saddened and resentful of that thought. Like, and that was like one of the main reasons we wanted to take this trip, because I think being in New York, you hear so much about the rest of the country, and not that all of it is wrong, but it's not
right. It's not accurate. Yeah,
it's not accurate. And I just was like, man, I need to see it myself.
I felt the same way, honestly, when Trump was running through election, and me and Sean first started hitting the road. Was the most eye-awakening thing, I think, was just seeing how, just getting outside the bubble, man, right? It really is a bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thankful. Last night I talked to some guy just about this, and he's a guy who's from a small town near this town. and he's been there all his life. And actually was talking. We were talking a lot about this, and I told him about that guy Daryl Davis I may have brought up before, who like he like a big black man who's a blues player, and he's purely through friendship, talked dozens of white men out of the Ku Klux Klan, and they've given him hero. And he's like, yeah, I watched that whole episode on Joe Rogan. He's like, I love that guy. I'm inspired. You know what I mean? So like he was totally aware of what I was talking about and totally was interested in the same thing I was. And like, was a young guy, so maybe more progressive or whatever, but it's, it wasn't like some alien world to him. Like he knew the cultural reference was just as familiar to him as it was to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also, you get to learn other people they have different priorities and that's nice to learn empathy. I think, you get to learn a little empathy too, to see other people's lifestyles. I will say in Thailand, you were saying like you can't go out, like in Thailand, man, everybody wears a mask in public, unless maybe you're walking down a sidewalk, which open space and not that traffic. It's rare to see people not wearing masks, and the numbers are so dramatically low again. For a while, for like 2 months, there was laxness in the second wave hit, but now it's like really going back to where it was, which is nice. And but it's funny because we have also an influx. They're starting to let people who used to live here come in a little bit more freely, and there's an influx of Australians who just don't believe COVID is real. Amazing. So it's Australians over here for some reason. They're like Trump supporters for no reason. I don't understand it. It's amazing.
I've been hearing that more and more about Australia. Because it's weird. Like, I don't know. I had a friend visit there like 15 years ago, and he said Australia is so chill and relaxed. And he was like, Sean, you would love it there.
Yeah.
But then the more recent stories I hear about it are just sort of like it's very aggressive and
it's chill and relaxed, but it's like time traveling 15, 20 years back. You go back to like the 90s in how they view culturally, like what their views of rap are and white lives matter, like those kind of those kind of issues. Like it's always race issues that they like, what's wrong with doing this type of joke? I was at a gig. This is so weird, but I was at a gig. I get paid to be a white guy here in Thailand. I think I joked about it. Yeah. And I had to go. I'm like a paid actor to be a CEO for this company, and we had to go do this photo shoot. And one of the guys was a comedian he does it as a hobby, as a comedy, and Australian. And he goes, he's like, let's tell some Jewish jokes. And I go, I don't really want to do any racist. I'm not going to do racist jokes. And he goes, and he looked. He made this face like, no, I didn't say racist jokes. I said Jewish jokes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I referred to Jewish jokes as racist jokes. It's like weird, But I remember when I was a kid, it wasn't that abnormal for everybody to do Irish jokes, Polish jokes, Italian jokes, Puerto Rican jokes, Black people jokes.
Our first guest is here. Should we bring in our first guest?
Yeah.
Kenneth McLaurin.
Old
favorite.
I love his jokes. His jokes on and his take on racism and all that stuff is like so funny to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Kenneth McLaurin's racism jokes get a Stoner Morning Show seal of approval.
No, but they're
Ralph, you can't
the kind of jokes that make you think, oh wait. I'm so stoned, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is my friend Kenneth McLaurin. He's really racist.
I am. I really am. What's up, folks? How y'all doing?
Oh my God. How's it going, buddy?
Going pretty good, man. It's going pretty good.
We're excited to hear about trivia and comedy and anything else that you've got going on. Whatever. More anniversaries.
What do I have going on? Actually, wait, something's going on. I don't know if my can you folks see me?
Turn your camera on.
We can see a picture of you bench pressing comedy.
I know.
tried not to laugh at that joke, Ralph.
And what's funny about that is that's not how you bench press.
This is actually squatting. Yes, that is squatting.
Yeah.
It seems like
legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like one of you is. See, I don't know why my video's not. Oh, man, it's something going on with my Zoom. That's where I think the problem is. All the other apps, when I put the whatchamacallit over it, the pointer over it, it moves. When I put the pointer over the Zoom app, it is frozen.
Share your screen. Nice. Let's see. Share your screen. Let's see what you.
I can't share the screen.
Oh, here.
On the Zoom app, it just has the hourglass, the infamous hourglass of death.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. So I think what I want to do is I want to log back on again and see if that helps. Maybe it's because I was in the waiting room for 45 minutes that the Zoom's like, oh no. They've already got one black guy on. We can only have a facade of another black guy.
Oh, that's a dirty move.
I wanna log off and then try to do this again.
All right.
I can't even close it.
It's all fun.
Yes.
Fun. Yeah.
You know what? Let me ask you guys. This happened to me this week, so I'm going to throw this to the panel, and this is being all honest and sincere to grow as a person, right?
Okay. Sure.
I was at an open mic this week, and there's a female comic there who I know and I performed with before.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was before COVID, she wasn't as active, but now she is more.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is somewhat similar to somebody else, you know? And I misnamed her.
Oh.
Introducing her to my girlfriend.
Yes.
And then she said, I was.
I've made this error before. Definitely. Yeah.
But she said I was sexist for it. That's what it was like. At first, it was a little jokey, and I joked back, and then she was like serious about it. Yeah. And I was like, really? And I did take at first I took personal offense to it because I'm gonna admit Ken back. Because there is a lot of sexism, just like racism, right? Yeah. I was saying before. And so I tried to lead by example without calling other people out because we're at open mics and these guys aren't professionals. These guys are hot. So, I try to lead by example, and then when I get a chance to be in front of a comic, if they ask for advice or if they give me the opportunity window, I'll tell them, oh, that was really sexist. That was really racist. Yes. I lead by example. But it bothered me. But I don't know. Is that a sexist thing? Is that something that I should be aware of if I if I forget somebody's name, I confuse two women's names.
Well,
I heard that. I do that all the time. I think it's important that you just don't confuse their names in bed.
That would be majorly misogynistic. Sure.
Yeah.
No, not even misogynistic. Things happen, and the intent versus the impact. Honestly, you could have been like, "No, I was not being sexist. You're just not memorable, or you didn't do anything really remarkable." So I just I just did not remember your name. And that's honest and it's fair. I forget people's names all the time.
Yeah.
You should have said, hey, I've got that. There's a particular disease, it's an actual thing where you can't recognize faces, where people have problems recognizing faces.
Wait a minute. Kenneth, so your advice was to be honest, but then also you could have been very dishonest.
Yes. Pick whatever works for you.
Yeah. But I kind of like to mix it up with, when I'm in the throes of, and I got to shout out a name. Sometimes, if I forget, I'll just, to break the tension, I'll be like, oh, Steve. instead of the girl's name.
I come from a world. My sisters. I have 5 sisters.
Wow.
Lydia, I had Leah, Lydia, Liana. Then my dad got remarried and had 2 more, Kayla and Kira. And I just remember when I was a kid, my dad would be like, Lydiana. He would just throw all the names together. Yeah, names don't matter to me, you know?
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and it's okay. Like, give people an opportunity to make an honest mistake. Like, I've got a friend who always like, they was lying. Why they lying? Why they lying? I'm like, dude, were they lying or they just didn't know?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, hey, where's your wife? And you was like, oh, she's at her mom's house. But she was actually with her with her boyfriend, with her side dude. Like, were you lying about where she was, or were you just ignorant? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference. Give people like the opportunity to be ignorant.
I like you held up your drink. Ignorant.
Yeah.
I also feel like what can you do? The best you can do is the best you can do. So you gotta just forgive yourself. And if that lady can't forgive you, that's, she's gotta come to her own. She's gonna come to that on her own. Also, this idea that if you say or do something that I always think about, like, if I feel somebody's lying to me and I say, I think you're lying to me, they go, are you calling me a liar? No, I think you're lying right now, but that doesn't mean what I think you do is lie. I don't think that's the entirety of who you are.
But you know what? I'll say sorry to jump in, but we're all liars.
Yes!
We're all liars.
Yes!
We lie to ourselves every day, even when we think we're shittier than we are, when we think we're better than we are. I've lied in conversation for no reason. The words came out. And I said I did XYZ in high school, and then I go, I don't know why I just said that. I was bored. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have this conversation with my girlfriends all the time because I'm just like, I try to be as honest as possible, and I ask you to do the same, but you don't have to lie to me to say that a guy ain't throwing dick pics to you. I know you're hot enough that a guy's gonna do this. So you don't have to lie to me. Just, we don't talk about it. And like the jealousy kind of thing and stuff, I always try to just say, like, this is reality. Just, you don't have to lie about it, but it still is going to happen. So I just try to avoid the conversation is what I'm saying.
The same thing comes with being like racist or sexist or whatever that is. It's just like depending on the situation, we're really quick to forgive ourselves. Like, oh, I said this, but I didn't really mean it. I'm not really like that. But the second that happens from somebody else, we condemn them. Or the inverse, which is like we say something and then we're like, you know what? Oh man, I must be this or I must be that. And it's like, hey man, we're all struggling to sort out reality and go and realign and recalibrate our values all the time. Like, I don't know. Some people don't feel like we should cut each other slack. Like, we should call each other out and hold each other up. And I believe that too. But like, come on, man. We're all human. We're not all of us were born the most progressive, the most open-minded, we're learning all the time. The world is changing all the time.
I feel you, man. I really like what you say. And I tell people, like, when folks talk about microaggressions and they're like, microaggressions, how do we deal with them, this and that? Like, what you say is really at the heart of it. Like, it's more about, like, how do we not be an asshole? Because if you think about it, it's like, somebody is like, I say something to you and you like, hey, I feel offended by what you said, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's up to me to respond to that. A lot of times what we do is, instead of respecting and honoring those person's feelings of being offended, because like that's true, that's how they feel. The first thing we do is want to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
Instead of honoring and respecting like how they feel. So like, I'm thinking like, if you're walking down the street and you bump into somebody and somebody's like, oh man, you bumped into me. You'll be like, oh, excuse me, my fault. I'm sorry. And you really mean that. And then you go on. But like if you say something to somebody and somebody's like, oh man, that was offensive to me, or oh, you might not know, but that sounds a little racist, or oh, that sounds a little sexist, oh, that sounds a little this. Instead of being like when you bump somebody, and we can be like, oh, really, my fault, I didn't know, I didn't mean it like that. Why does it sound like that? You know what I'm saying? It could be an opportunity for us to grow as a person and an opportunity for you to learn more about the person you're interacting with. But too often, like you say, Rolf, we start defending ourselves, being like, what? No, sexist? I'm not sexist. I got sisters. What you talking about, man? Like that's on you.
Get it. Jeez, all right, Ken.
Yeah. And then like instead of being like, oh damn, my fault, I ain't know. Like, my experiences are different than yours, but I want to know more about your experiences so like I can understand why I ain't do this, man. It's really an opportunity to learn more about people and grow and come together. But too often we just be like, fuck that ain't me, and then we're bam and everybody's angry.
I had a thought that is very similar to what Kenneth is saying. It's like a side issue, but I've been watching a lot of documentaries recently, and you know how like filmmakers and documentarians and even journalists will be like, I'm just witnessing and reporting, I'm not here to adjust or anything like that. But I feel like if you're making a documentary, you're doing it because you're possibly shining a light on something that needs to be changed. So it's like, why do you take the standpoint of like, I don't make things to change things? Like you should, if you're making a documentary, maybe you should be doing it so specifically you are making a good impact.
Man, that's such an interesting thought. I think the same thing. I wonder.
Kenneth, are you chewing your drink? Oh no, you have something else in your hand.
You had an edible cup. I wonder. I wonder if it's more or less helpful. I wonder if it's more or less helpful for like a documentarian to take an objective or removed stance. I don't know if that's true, because I would think if that helps it more, then if it helps the cause I'm trying to pursue more to be detached, then I'm going to be detached. But maybe that's not the case.
I think people be detached because that's what they're told other people do. That's how they're taught to be. And I think it's also because once the documentary is over, they're able to like wash their hands of it and walk away. I'm just an objective observer. I don't need to be involved anymore. I mean, I think there's some people. There's obviously people who do it with a skewed intent, right? I guess it's the subject matter, but I know what you mean. I'm not negating what you're saying. Yeah.
I agree with you though. I think, like Sean, in order to make a documentary, you have to be passionate about what you're doing. Like it's like I'll never make a documentary about like cricket. I'll never be like, oh, I want to just do something and observe cricket. Like if I want, like I might do something about comedy because I'm passionate about comedy, and then even though it's a documentary, it's still a story, So they have to be at the least thing they're saying. We want to educate you. We want to give you this perspective or this view on it. So I like that objective thing. It's like it's objective from my point of view.
Lex has been wanting to say something for 5 minutes.
I'm sorry. I mean, because me and Sean talked about it. Me and Sean did a solo thing, and if anybody hasn't seen it, we're doing like a thing regularly, just me and him. And he told me about this documentary about this guy who made a documentary that was supposed to be about a guy who makes onion rings. And then the guy ended up not wanting to do the documentary. So the documentary became about making why they couldn't make the documentary or something like that. Yeah. But how can you get excited about onion rings? I just wanted to connect those two because I still, all day today, Sean.
Yeah.
You asked me what I did today earlier before the show. I pondered onion rings and why somebody can be so invested in onion rings.
Yeah, right.
Dude, have you ever heard of Hero Dreams of Sushi?
I get that. Yes. But there's an art and a skill. We're talking about fried onion rings. This dude is
Unless, but in the
onion
same way, unless these are like some of the best onion rings in the
Yeah.
world, you know,
Maybe-
like
Maybe the onions need to be massaged. Maybe that's his secret. You know what I mean?
who knows, man?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's something, but like, yeah.
Maybe. You know what? You're right. If that's what it was, then I would be fascinated. That was
I
a
don't know.
dope documentary. To see
I
somebody.
think the thing about onion rings is the batter, not the onion.
That's what they do say. It's like the batter is the secret.
Yeah.
Maybe this documentary was about a guy who's like, no, it's all in the onion. And it's about his onion process.
Yeah.
You know, he's smelling the onions. He
that onion, he goes. Yeah, he has some weird test. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I have this question because I frequently run into like sometimes it really messes with my head and bothers me. Like I do not like news where I can tell the point of view of the journalist.
Ooh.
I do not want it. Just tell me what's going on as objectively as you can. If I know which way you're leaning in any way, I'd start to feel like, well, why should I trust you to be fair? Why wouldn't you be lying to me?
That's why
it really bothers me.
That's why, you know, as things get automated, the next job that should be replaced by robots, it isn't like factory workers, it should be journalists. We should have like robots reading us the news.
actually
Maybe.
that makes so much sense.
What would a robot reading the news sound like?
I know it would be like, America, this is the news from the robot.
Yeah.
All of your politicians are fucked up.
Right.
Democrats and Republicans, don't believe them all.
in
It's
Japan.
going to hell. Move to Canada.
In Japan today, they have a new sex robot. I think it would be all about fuck robot.
That would be funny that would be funny if it started talking about actual headlines, but somehow the robot steered it towards sex robots.
Constantly.
I think
It's interested in.
if humans are still writing it, even though it's being read, I feel like it would just be like, and now today, Joe Biden is the new American president. I don't feel any way about this one way or the other.
Yeah.
I am impartial.
Good, yeah.
No, but I don't even think that's news. I think that's opinion. And like now, because they need to fill up, I believe one of the reasons that we have so much opinion walking around, like acting like impersonating news, is because they just need to fill up time. Like,
All right.
24 hours of stuff. So they'd be like, all right, we're going to get 17 people to give their like very narrow opinion as long as it's around this. And here we go, folks.
Yeah.
Similar question to gas stations shitting and eating.
Okay.
What's the percentage of news that you consume that's opinionated to non-opinionated? What would you guys consume? Each one can say, you know, but I would say mine, because I try to watch some weird. I would say the opinionated would be like 85%, but I try to get it from all sides because I know it's opinionated, and I would think that there's probably 15% that's pure just facts.
I don't even know where you get that from. Like I'm searching for it. I don't even. I'm not a news hound, but I'm always like, I want to find somebody who's just going to tell me what's going on. And like purely just information.
I keep on telling myself,
I can't find any.
I keep on telling myself I should be watching more PBS Frontline because I feel like that is an impartial source.
Yeah.
Even though it has to be left leaning, the people who produce that show, I'm sure of it. But I feel like they are kind of good about being impartial, I think.
I don't watch a lot of news, but I do read a lot of like AP and Reuters and everything.
Yeah,
so that's usually where I get my news from.
Oh, all right. Jason wins.
Yeah.
Jason wins.
I think whatever I do is like I listen to what people say, and then I'm like, all right, I don't I don't believe what you said, so I'm just going to believe this little narrow part of it.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be like, I don't believe the explanation. They'll be like, oh, this law is passed and this is what it's going to do. This is how it's going to affect you. I'll be like, all right, I know it's really probably not going to affect me like that. And it's not going to do that. If I need to know anything more, I need to actually go look at the law.
And how much of your opinion of how much you actually accept is based just sheerly off a superficial how that person looks that's delivering the information?
Actually, I believe everybody's lying to you on the internet. When I was in my freshman year in college in '92. We had an internet lab, and it had some nice like Macs in it, and then like so it like for some reason like on those you could find more chat rooms and stuff. And I'm ashamed to say this, but I can talk about my mistakes as a young person now that I'm old. Mm-hmm. Hopefully this can help other people. But I used to go into lesbian chat rooms, right, and act like I was a woman.
Catfish.
All right, and I did. I probably wasn't a good woman, but I used to do that all the time. And that was like in '92. And because of that experience, I don't believe anything on the internet. Nothing.
92?
Yeah, right. Like it was weird. Like chat rooms first started coming on. I was like, oh snap, this is fun. But and then thinking about it, like somebody like me who enjoys stories and like just, being funny and fucking with people, why not? I was like, oh, this is great, right? Yeah. So now, internet, and then like people telling me stuff, not even a grain in a pile of salt. I don't know.
Yeah. Kenneth, can you remember how you described yourself? If that ever came up?
Yes. So check this out. This will be funny.
Yeah.
So oddly enough, there were not a lot of black women on these chat rooms in '92. So for me to get any action or traction, I had to be a white woman.
Ah.
So it was funny because at the time it was like, yeah. Like it was white women probably around 23, 24.
Yeah.
My name was Carol. I don't know why I thought Carol was a good name.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was a rookie. I'd be way better at it now.
So you went white.
You do look like a Carol.
If I was a white woman, I'd be a Carol. Yeah.
I would watch a miniseries about this.
Yeah.
I would watch this. I feel like we're writing the sequel to Tootsie right now.
Oh my God.
I just recently had to explain to my friend about Bosom Buddies. Does everybody know Bosom Buddies?
I think that's where Tom Hanks started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And how did that conversation go, Lex?
I was just I think we started discussing how it would be received today. What do you guys think? So like, what was it? It was two guys. Were they were lying to get a job, right? Not to get a.
No, they dressed as women to live in an all women's like living place.
Okay.
I think that could work. Like that could still work.
Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of because it's almost more prevalent, right?
Not even more prevalent. It's just like it's innocent. It's not like, okay, the only opportunities you're really taking from them are maybe like housing. And in that context of the
most expensive bill that's out there, sure, yeah.
Yeah, but in the context of the show, that could work. Like people be like, the show's terrible because it has guys dressing up, taking away housing for women. You'd be like, yeah, we can deal with that. But if it's like something where it's more nefarious or explicitly misogynistic, I don't think they do it.
what would be a good spin, a positive spin to put it on it maybe, is that there are women who live in the building that know about it, and they have men living there dressed as women as a way to sort of like protect what's going, like maybe there's been some like bad stuff that's been going on in the neighborhood, so they hire men to dress as women, but not all the women know about it. Not all the women know about it.
Nope, that wouldn't work because that is saying that women can't protect themselves, and it's that old traditional role of.
But it's not the men who choose to live there. It's like one woman who's in charge was like, we need two men here just to.
And I'm telling you,
yeah.
Here's what you would hear.
Sure.
That seems like an idea coming from a white guy, because a white guy would be like, oh, you women can't protect yourselves. You need two men. The women be like, fuck that. What we need is guns.
Well,
what if that was the whole episode? What was the two men coming into the house?
Wait a minute. Maybe we just wrote maybe we wrote a mini series about like 3 white guys and a black guy and 2 black guys writing a show about 2 white guys moving into an all white women. That'd be great. And then like the whole show would be about, we can promote it and do everything about that. And people come and watch the show and they'll be like, this is gonna suck.
The reboot for Bosom Buddies is us trying to make a new Bosom Buddies, but the show gets canceled after the first season because we're not able to do it.
Actually, that'd be, or even the first episode.
I like that Ken knew that the apartment building would also have to be all white, because you threw a couple Latinos and black people, they'd be like, these are boys. They would know right off the bat.
Yeah.
No, this I smell dick. This is here, right here.
Yeah.
If we had to rename this reboot, would we rename it, or would we just call it Bosom Buddies, like Bra Bros or something like that?
I like Bra Bros. I like that is a modern version of that. Okay.
Well, I think the title of it should be, "What should we call the Bosom Buddies reboot?" And that is an episode of like coming up with a title.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Kenneth, our next guest is coming up pretty soon. What tell us about trivia stuff, and like, you didn't plug anything, but you have a lot of stuff to
Yes,
plug.
Actually, I got a lot of stuff coming up. So trivia. Last night we had the first ever Black Ass Trivia. So it's virtual trivia. It's not on Zoom. It's cool. People can play on their phone, on the tablet, even on a smart TV, computer, whatever. Gave away $50. It was a hit. We really enjoyed it. We're doing that the second Thursday of every month. We've got Star Wars trivia Star Wars trivia, second Thursday of every month. Black Ass Trivia, the trivia game that is as black as a versus battle. Oh, most definitely, man. We talk about pop culture, music, history, all of that. Also, that's on the 4th Thursday of every month. All you gotta do is check us out. Check us out. Kenneth McLaurin, right there. However we go, bam, and you'll see all of the stuff. Yeah. Holla at me. It's great hollering at y'all.
Definitely.
You're one of my
favorites.
No doubt. Peace out, stoners.
Yeah.
And before you leave,
before
you leave, BZ Douglas is watching, and he said Bra Bras as the name of the show. Bra
Bras. Bam.
Yeah.
Thank you, BZ. Right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Kenneth, great seeing you. Always.
Peace, fellas.
Yeah.
Great to see you, man.
Love you, brother.
Backdrop.
And I put his Instagram info in the Facebook chat. I'll do that to YouTube as well.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, recently I watched Big Daddy, and I know BS is coming in soon.
Yeah.
Your beanie plus glasses remind me of Scuba Steve.
I don't remember that character in that.
In Big Daddy, he was the little character that the kid had,
and
then they're dressed as him to get him to start bathing and doing his homework.
Oh, right.
Damn you, Scuba Steve! Damn you!
Didn't Scuba Steve show up at the end of the movie? Was hanging out with
I don't think at
what's
the
his
end.
name?
No, yeah, Adam Sandler dresses up as him. It looks like Scuba Steve.
Yeah. And Scuba Steve also gets the first kiss. He gets the kiss before.
That's right.
Big Daddy might be as high as number 3 for me of in all-time favorite Adam Sandler movies. I mean,
Wow.
Big Daddy is. I love Big Daddy. I think Big Daddy is like. There's only a couple movies where he got it absolutely right. At least 3 of them, and Big Daddy is.
Did you see it was? Oh, go ahead, Lex.
I was just gonna say it's interesting because I was recently made my girlfriend watch it because she's Thai. She never saw it, and as I watched it, they have a couple that's homosexual, right? A gay couple.
Yeah.
And if you think it, like, time wise, pretty progressive. I remember at the time it was pretty progressive, and then you watch it and you're like, they were very aggressive as to joking and making fun of the group, making fun of the gay couple, Yeah. And so, like, the uncomfortability about it, I guess, of watching TV. But, like, it's funny how my perspective of it is, at the time it was progressive. It was at the time, even though some of the actions showed that they were uncomfortable with it, they were, like, this is a normal couple, even though. So it was like showing the learning process. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I always felt like they were showing that, like.
What's up, Trust BS? By the way,
Trust BS is on. I always felt like they were showing the perspective of their own demo. Like, we're immature, we can't handle this, so this is how we deal with it. But also, we're the ones who are immature. There's nothing wrong with them. We're the ones who are.
They did. That's a great way to say it, because they did. They call themselves out consistently. It's funny because as to shooting it, when you watch the shots of the the DP, right? They're taking in the reaction so many times, but they did call themselves out. That's
I don't think it's perfect, but I don't know.
No. It just I think it's honestly like it's a time. I don't think it should be shot down because of it. I'm not saying that at all. I don't believe in it, but it's just funny. Like, I was just thinking about how some people can. Especially, what's up,
I
BS?
wouldn't be upset at somebody who shot it down either. They would get it. BS, what are your thoughts on the finer points of identity politics and Adams?
Hey, buenos dias. I'm gonna need another cup of coffee before we go there, fam.
Hey, but that's a good answer. That's an honest answer. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say from now on. When people ask me, I'm just gonna be like, I need a cup of coffee before I talk about this.
Yeah, this is BS. Everybody, one of the a pillar of our little underground hip hop community, and he's a great teacher of freestyling and rapping, and he's an artist in his own right who makes rad music. He's on my Brooklyn Petting Zoo mixtape on the song Aaliyah. He kills it.
He uses the filter of like a 1980s romantic TV.
Yeah, that beauty filter.
It's very romantic.
What a beautiful
very
man.
romantic man.
Hey, y'all. Thank you, Ralph. I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah.
What's happening in your world right now?
Ooh, spinning plates, my friend. Spinning plates. We've got Prop Season 2, Episode 2 coming up a week from today, March 6th.
Tell the folks at home what Props is.
Props is a Jeopardy-esque freestyle rap game show. We are known for having very specific and often maybe crazy challenges. We've been called the American Ninja Warrior of freestyle rap.
Wow.
We get MCs, improvisers, rhymers, all across the style and community spectrum together to battle this board. We got a musical guest. My fam Heirloom Beats is our one-woman house band, so all of the instrumentals are done live and improvised as well on a loop station, beatboxed by Heirloom. we're on our second season now, so we're young, we're scrappy, and we've been having a lot of fun. We were really honored to have Ralph as a guest judge and musical guest last season, which was super dope. It's
I have a question about this game show.
Shoot.
And this doesn't come up from a place of ego at all. I want everyone to know that. But have you ever had any contestants on who are knowingly bad at freestyle?
No, I vet my contestants very, very carefully.
It might bring an interesting vibe to have one contestant on who is not good at it. Just putting it out there.
I kind of agree, but I will say like the challenges are. I judged the show once and I hadn't seen it before, and man, it is astonishing how nerdy and how technical these challenges are. I mean, this is like super intense rap. Like this is like so technical and so like but it's presented in a way that
there's high stakes.
Yeah, there's high stakes and very specific.
Is there any video online of this?
Yeah. If you go to our YouTube channel. Actually, if you go to propsgame.eventbrite.com, you'll learn all about our upcoming episode, our fam Dr. Pauly and their situation, and we can talk about that in a second. I would love to. And you can check out our YouTube and a write up from Philly's Dosage magazine, kind of giving a breakdown of one of our episodes in the first season. So yeah, propsgame.eventbrite.com, and all of the other links you can find right within the event description. A pillar of the platform too is giving to charity. So last season we were raising money for the Equal Justice Initiative, and last episode for Equal Justice Initiative. This episode we're kind of taking a spin on that, but we'll get to that when we talk about the fam Dr. Pauly.
Whoa!
Yeah, thank you.
Wow, yeah, that does look Jeopardy. That's good. It looks Jeopardy or not. That's, you know what I mean?
Yo, so we got a hell of an episode. Reigning champ, Jay Ellis, Jealous, Megan 8 Miles, Nathanology, aka Nathan Dufour or Sir Nate of Nate and Hilla. And we've got Silent Night from Newsbeat Podcast, a band called Fuse, and The Innocence Project, and also founder of the lineup. Rockin' as our judge and guest, and we've got a special guest bar master filling in for Dr. Pauly this episode. So you'll have to stay tuned and see who it is and see who.
What was the epiphany of a freestyle game show? Like how did those two things connect? What was the moment where it connected for you?
I feel like in New York there is a lineage of hip hop like freestyle game shows. Notably Freestyle Mondays. Shout out to Corey James Gray and Freestyle Mondays. There would be no BS if it weren't for Corey James Gray and Freestyle Mondays letting me sneak into Sin Sin with my cousin's ID at 19 just so I could get on the mic and rap.
Nice.
There are a few others that have kind of like popped in and popped out. Freestyle Mondays is going on its 20th year. For me, it was about 2016, 2017. I was hanging with, coincidentally, Nathan, who's going to be on the episode, Anna Diorio, who at the time went by Happy Accident, Hilla the Killa, and Seth Hirsch. And we used to just hang out and cypher. We just felt like there weren't too many accessible freestyle scene things happening, and we just really wanted to play and challenge ourselves. And so we would meet, once or twice a month and just throw the most ridiculous shit that we could at each other and just have fun with it. And then one day I was like, yo, I got it. I'm going to fuck their shit up. And I was like, I'm going to make it into a game. And so I tell them, like, just kind of give, I didn't really give too much of a description, but just like, hey, come ready to play a game. I'm going to facilitate it. I'm not going to be playing. But I'm really excited to show you all this thing. And so we met up at, Anna at the time lived in Bushwick, and we all met in her kitchen. I showed up in a blazer with a whole bunch of different sized Post-its, put them all over the cabinets. And that was the first props was that. And so we had the categories, the props amounts, but like Post-it on top of Post-it with like the prompts in there, pre-prepared and like handwritten. And then later there was like a PowerPoint like version, like a couple PowerPoint boards that I made. But that was the birth of props. And then it wasn't until the pandemic and my friend Dr. Pauly, who is the technical director, producer, and our bar master. Because that's another angle, is the bar count is important. So you have to complete this challenge with potentially a whole lot of esoteric criteria within a certain amount of bars. Almost always 16. So if you don't make it past the bar count, you don't get to the judges to give you the yay or nay, did you complete the challenge. But the judges have some private stash, their private stash, they can still show some love, but you can't get the props from the board. But it wasn't until Dr. Oh, go ahead.
You got to count how many lines you're rapping as you're rapping and trying to fulfill the challenge. I just want to say before you go on, BS, also, you seem so much like a guy who would show up to run a game with Post-its and a PowerPoint presentation. I feel like I seem like a guy who would show up just with a paper bag that's holding my one shoe that I'm not wearing.
Well, I used to be a classroom teacher once upon a time. So some of that teacher training and Post-it Sharpie love really stuck with me.
BS. So if there was one person you could get on your show that has never been on your show, who would it be?
Ooh, if I could get one person.
Any famous person, whoever.
Yo, Supernatural. Yo, freestyle God. Like, to watch like Supernatural. I would love to. I don't know if he's watching, but Corey James Gray.
Afro right now.
What's that?
I love All Flows Reach Out.
Yo, he's super dope. He's super dope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say let's do it. Let's make it happen. And I'm going to admit that I have no way of knowing how to make it happen, but I'm just putting it out there. Like let's make it happen.
We speak our own spells. Like once we speak it, there's enough belief behind it, and then there's enough energy behind the belief. It becomes more than a belief.
Hey, BS, are you watching WandaVision?
I have not seen the new episode yet.
Oh, wow. It's all good. I'm impressed with how impressed I am with it. That's how impressive the show is.
I've been loving it so far, and I've been really scared to go anywhere near YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
It's surprising how good it is. I don't know why I'm surprised. It's just so different. It's very different.
And my girlfriend, shout out to Raptina. My girlfriend Christina and I are watching it together, and she's at her parents' right now this weekend. So I can't watch it until she comes back tomorrow, and I'm so scared the internet's gonna ruin it for me.
It's worth the wait.
So that was my real quick pause the play.
I want to open this up because I think BS is gonna dip pretty quickly because he's got to go do a meeting, right?
Yeah. I mean, y'all got me for another 5-10 but after that, I kind of gotta.
Please share about Dr. Pauly.
Yes.
What they do for the show, and then how what's happened with them, and then how we can help.
Thank you, Ralph. So like I mentioned earlier, props was like a back burner idea, and the person who really put the gas and the fuel on my back to just like, hey, this is a really dope idea. This is a game.
Yes.
Like, it could be a TV show. I can help you produce it. You wanna give it a shot? Worst case scenario, something cool happened during a pandemic.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the energy that just like fueled it. So Dr. Pauly is a core member of the props team, and they are our bar master. So they have the heavy burden of judging the bar count. They are our technical director and handling the tech behind the scenes, moving our camera angles around. They are instrumental in constructing the deck as you see it, and help me produce the show. And they were recently, Pauly is one of the kindest, most awesome people that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, let alone calling fam. Which is amazing in the time of pandemic. Pauly and I have spent, I don't know how many hours talking on Zoom. We have met in person twice, and they're in Philadelphia. I'm in New York City. And it's been an amazing friendship. They're an incredibly valued member of not just the props community, but Freestyle Love Supreme Academy community, Off Mic Comedy School. And they were dealt some rough hands. There was a house fire a few weeks ago. They're okay, but there was a lot of damage. They had to find an Airbnb to live. A part of their regular life is volunteering. They do a lot of homeless outreach through their church. About a week after the fire, they were riding their bike home from volunteering with homeless folks. They were in a hit and run. They got hit by a car, woke up in the hospital. I can't imagine being in that state, not knowing what happened, multiple life-saving surgeries. I mean, whole right side, ribs detached from spine, broken shoulder, concussion, really, really gnarly. So we're rallying for our fam, Dr. Pauly. We want to use the platform of Props to raise awareness and raise funds for this incredible person who means the world to us, there's going to be they're discharged from the hospital, but there's going to be a long healing journey ahead of them. This is America. Medical situations, work situations, we're in a pandemic. There's a lot going on. This is a person who has an immense heart, who absolutely does not deserve these things that happen to them and deserve our support. And so I'm asking all the good people listening, all the good people who check out my stuff, BS, Props, Freestyle Fitness, any of that, even if you can just share the GoFundMe and just, throw out that bat signal for someone who needs our help, for a dope, amazing, positive contributor in so many different areas, and close, super homie, fam of mine in their time of need. Where Props will be raising money for them this episode. House funds that usually go towards just house expenses are all going to Pauly. My personal share is all going to the GoFundMe. I'm going to fill this motherfucker up by March 7th. So by the time Eventbrite pays me, I can give them that money directly. We're speaking it into existence.
Yeah. We're WandaVisioning it.
Pauly, if you're watching, I love you, fam.
You dropped a name I hadn't heard in a while, Hilla the Killer. She used to do stand-up. I don't know if she still does, but we used to do shit back in Brooklyn. You want to drop anybody else? Like, Ralph, you know Hilla the Killer?
I do, yeah. I know her through the Brooklyn wildlife scene. Her and her partner, yeah. She's so cool. I want to work with Hilla the Killer. I keep saying that, and I really want to. She makes cool videos and stuff. Yeah, she's awesome.
Very strong.
She's so dope, and a literal Props day one.
I want to say this while you're here, because I'm in I don't know if you know, I'm in Ocean Springs, Mississippi right now. And
oh wow!
I met some young man who lived here. I forget the young man, Isaac, I think it was. And he was like, "Yeah, dude." He's like, "I love hip hop, and I'm always wondering, like, I'm always trying to figure out, like, how do I learn about the New York underground hip hop scene?" And I'm like, "You're talking to the New York underground hip hop scene." Yeah. Like, I'm part of that scene, like, and there's literally hundreds of us that people are out there like ravenous to learn about. You know what I mean? They want to know about BS. They want to know about Christoph Carr. They want to know about EO Dub, and they have no idea that this all exists. And like,
I'll tell you, dude, all my friends who are starting to watch the show out here, who are just comedy fans, and I find out how big a hip hop head they are. Like, I'm blessed to know that you're on here, Ralph, and you get guests like BS and other people that we've had, where I'm like, because I love hip hop. I grew up on hip hop, but then I got disconnected because I started listening to like old school rock that I never grew up on, And so there was a disconnect, and now I'm reconnecting, and it's so dope. And to hear the people that I saw in Brooklyn, but I didn't know, like, you guys have a scene that's growing, that's so fun. I really am blessed to see you guys, and I love that we get this on the show.
Hi, Lex.
What's up, Anya? Anya, you're taking killer photos of this tour.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much. That's the one I can contribute.
Yes, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us, man.
Yo, thank y'all so much for having me. Thank y'all so much. This was a pleasure.
Can you leave us with a quick rap or a quick beat box or whatever you want to do? Can you leave us with hip hop?
Oh, I love it.
We could do it. We could do it. Y'all want to throw a beat on? I can flow, or do you want me to just like kind of funk it a cappella somehow?
Put a beat on right now. Give me.
All right.
Give me 2 seconds.
Give us 2 minutes.
No, not.
And yo, actually, you know what, Ralph? Since we got props coming up, let's get a little extra funky with it. Ralph, you want to give me a prop style challenge to go with that beat?
What?
Yes.
Oh,
I want you to incorporate each of our names in the rap, and I want you to decide what superpower each of us would have.
Wow.
that deep. Oh, shit. Wow. All right.
Okay.
This is the level you guys are doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is that all you want me to do?
And I want you to, and while you do that, I want you to plug each of your enterprises, your teaching props, plug everything as you're doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
And let's go. We'll try to do it in 16. All right.
Okay. Hold on. Here's the beat coming now. All right, here we go. I'm gonna hit shuffle.
I love this. Holy
Is that
Yo,
too
let me
loud?
throw one on top of there.
Sure.
I'm gonna try and change my flow at least once somewhere in the verse.
Okay.
Let's add a little. Let's make this at least a 250 prop box.
So all
We're
of our
making
names,
magic right now.
all of our names, give us superpowers, plug all your stuff, and then change your flow at least once. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Can we turn that beat up just a little bit more? Yo. Stoned in the morning, got it going on. I bet Sean would freeze time on a lawn. And I'm having fun with Lex. I bet he's super strong. Yo, he's rocking it with the flex. And what about JQ? All kinds of superpowers. What does he do? I'm thinking telepathy. He can read the mind's thoughts exchanged by me and you. Yo, and what about Ralph? Ralph makes haters disappear. Yo, he is the peacemaker, digitally or in 3 dimensionals, you hear? And there's freestyle fitness. So if you want to test yourself like litmus, you take that freestyle fitness, see what you got, and then you elevate it all the way back to props. Come CPS if you want the lessons. Me and mi gente son muy inteligente. And then I change up with the flow, just to give you a little bit of different before I go. Was that 16? Was it 16?
I don't know. Yes, probably.
We need to get Dr. Pauly in here to count these bars because that was
They make it look easy.
Yeah.
BS, that's gonna be our new intro. We're gonna be using that from now on. So just to let you know, sorry.
Hey, listen, trustbs.com. People want to learn how to beatbox. You want to learn how to write. You want to work on your freestyle fitness because the mind, we can treat it like a muscle. We can build it. We don't pick up the heaviest thing in the gym the first time we go. We build to that shit. Practice makes progress. Come see your boy.
Lex does though, because Lex is strong. Lex will pick up the heaviest thing.
I'll probably get a hernia, but I'll try.
Well, the heaviest thing for you.
We appreciate you so much, BS. Thank you for coming to hang out with us.
Really
We're gonna make sure to share a link to the show and to the fundraiser.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. Yo, stay safe, stay sane, and until next time.
Yeah.
Woo! Love you.
Love y'all. Peace.
That was great. Yeah, that was really fun.
Dude,
Hey guys, before we move on, Ralph, can you beatbox? Can we all do a beatbox? Can we do one loop? I'll start it off. To give you guys a second because I can do a little beatbox. It's weak.
Okay.
It's old school. But I was practicing since I heard that Fat Boy. There was one of the Fat Boys just recently died.
Yeah.
So
Rest in
I was
peace,
thinking
yes.
about it. All right, so. Okay, that was one.
Okay.
My Zoom mostly muted you.
But we had a beat.
Yeah.
Anybody else? What do you got? Jay.
I just want to say, Lex, that my Zoom mostly muted what you did.
That was what most of America did, actually. Most of America did.
Oh,
Oh, that's more.
Wow. JQ is the bass.
That's from that's some old Fat Boys, man. The whole thing.
Yeah.
I just want to say, and this might be more information than Anya wants me to give, but that's what our sex noises are like.
Hey, well, you two harmonized to create one voice, so that's very beautiful.
Yes, and you are in a van.
Oh, this is before the van, my friend.
It's very beautiful in a jarring way.
All right, I'm gonna give this a try just for Lex.
Good. As he leaves, there he is.
My beatboxing's terrible.
Well, you try.
Yeah.
Sean, you got one?
Yeah, horribly. Gang, 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 gang.
All right. You went rock and roll.
That would be like a great theme music for like one of those Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Like when the evil villain shows up, it'd be like, that's badass intro music.
Yeah, that's badass. Rated G.
Yes, love it. Yeah.
Well, does anybody have anything to say or something before we bring Steve on? I don't know. Does anybody have anything? What do you guys have?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's see if we can create a game, but Lex just gave us a great game to play. We just played a great game.
We did. Congrats to us.
We did.
Dude, can I tell you, like, the show, like the guests that come on make me so happy, like, to meet them and everything like that. It's just all the time. I'm so like constantly amazed. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that's you guys. You guys, I love that you guys live in a different universe than me. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thailand is in a different universe?
No, I mean, just
that's the beta quadrant.
I believe that we all live in our own universe, and you, like, I could live next door to you, Ralph, and then I'm just listening to, Leonard Skinner and watching Fox News and, Tucker Carlson and
right.
And I drive to my like weird, and then I sell commodities. Yeah, I don't know what else that would be opposite of your world, but that would be
right.
That's
Ralph has a dog, but in Lex's universe, a dog has him.
Yeah. I'm all excited.
The dog.
Home.
Yeah, the dog.
For like 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I get all excited when he comes home. I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
But you're still wearing those sunglasses.
I'll be honest. So, and I've never, I think I might have, I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I'll say it to the audience too. Is like when I started smoking weed, I was really proud because I did not look like I was high when I smoked weed, but I smoked
so
weed,
high,
and I look so exhausted and tired. I feel like when I see myself in the video, and it also allows me to look at you guys without like looking like I'm not looking at the camera, because I do think it would be nice to look at the camera all the time, but I want to see you guys.
Yeah,
but
I like the sunglasses.
But it is part of the ego of me looking at myself, and I'm like, I look so tired all the time.
I don't think you look tired. I think you look happy.
Yeah.
That's very generous.
Seriously, no. Seriously.
I'm not always this happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's true for all of it. Hey, we're always lying to ourselves too. Or not always. Not always.
I was thinking about this morning for no reason. There's a rapper from the Bay Area who was really big in the early 2010s, in the late aughts and early 2010s. His name was Lil B, and one of his most famous mixtapes that he put out was a mixtape called "I'm Gay" in parentheses "I'm Happy." It was a big deal, man. I thought it was so. He was a revolutionary guy, Lil B.
That's awesome.
God,
that's good. That sounds fun. And Ralph, you know what I was just thinking about?
What were you
Does
thinking
he have
about?
an answer?
No,
Wait,
yeah. No.
Go ahead and pause long enough. You have to make a guess now.
Yeah.
We were thinking about maybe the first thing that comes to my mind is waffles and shrimp.
No,
Is that a viable?
You're projecting, Ralph. You're projecting.
You're wrong, but how could you know? Yeah, it was supposed to be a joke. I was trying to do a joke of just like, hey, do you know what I was thinking about? No. Yeah, how could you? But it turned into a conversation. I was trying to do like
Now I'm sort of short. Waffles and shrimp. Is that a viable dish? Would you go to a restaurant that serves waffles and shrimp?
well,
Ralph just made me hungry. I would.
shrimp for breakfast is I've never had a bad shrimp dish for breakfast.
Me too.
And
Never.
and most of them I've had are down where Ralph is about in the Mississippi area and New Orleans area. So shrimp for breakfast, I'm down for it. And I've never had shrimp and waffles, but I would definitely do it. If a restaurant is making it, it's got to be good.
Yeah. Good call. You know what I had today? I know this. I have some weird stuff that's in. Obviously, you guys never had. At 7-Eleven, they sell these cups of. I guess the best way to describe it, the only way I could describe it is flan. You guys have all had flan?
Oh yeah.
Ralph, have you had flan?
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but yes.
I love flan.
Me too. And it's like kind of custom, but it's an egg dish, and they'll mix in like some like cooked like some ground pork or something or some seafood. That's what I had. That's what made me think of it. But it's like a kind of like a flan, but I think they describe it more like an omelet or an egg, but it's not. It's a custard. It's a flan. It was.
I don't know.
Amazing. It was so good. It was the best thing
I
I've
seen you eat it.
7-Eleven.
I seen you eat a pizza with prawns on it. So
Yeah. I admit to that.
that looked good.
Yeah, guilty as
How did
charged.
you become so pensive? You said, I've seen you eat a pizza with prawns on it, and Lex was like, yeah.
I'm going to bring in our final guest for today. This is Steve Fingerstyles from the podcast. Steve, can you hear us?
Great logo.
Oh yeah.
I gotta pee. I'm gonna go.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, listen. Sorry, I told everybody.
Cool. Somebody on YouTube said they just ate a sweet crepe with Nutella and banana. That's good.
Ooh, yeah.
Congrats.
Hit me up. I make crepes. They're good.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Steve, how's it going? Good seeing you again.
Likewise, Sean. Thanks for having me on. Thank you.
This is Ralph
Hey,
and Jason, and Lex went to pee, but he'll be back.
Fantastic. What's going on, guys?
Did you pee before you came on?
I peed like an hour ago, so I should be all right. I'm not 60, so I think I can hold it in.
Oh, good. Nice.
Where are you from, Steve?
I'm in Toronto, Canada.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. We have a
Love
fan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of the nicest cities in the world.
I'm not too far from you.
No, don't.
I'm only a couple hours from you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. But Sean, it's not really the nicest. Outskirts of Toronto, yes, but the core of Torontonians are fucking assholes.
Well, I guess it feels nice to tourists. As a tourist, whenever
I get, yeah. True, yeah, but you visited the nice part. You went to Center Island and you dropped acid and shit, so you were grooving.
Oh yeah, we should wait until Lex is back because I was with him when.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, where have you gone? That's nice.
I'm back, and I'm not 60 years old. I'm not 60 years old.
Yeah. Thank you for standing up for yourself, Lex.
Thank you.
Yeah. Where have you been? That's nice, Steve.
Oh, I've been a ton of places in the Caribbean. I've been to Europe, being Portuguese background, so I've been to Portugal a few times.
Ooh.
So yeah, nice. I guess destination vacations, as they say, right?
Yeah.
What about you guys? Anywhere in particular?
Toronto.
Toronto, yeah.
Nice.
Quebec.
I've never been to any other part of Canada but Montreal.
Montreal's nice. I enjoyed Montreal.
Yeah.
I like Quebec.
Yeah, I've been to Quebec, Montreal. I've been there like my whole life with my family. I have a huge section of my family is there, but I've never been to any other part of Canada.
The first time I was in Quebec, I seen a tank roll down the street with who was it? I think the name of the band escapes me now, but it was it's some big band. I think Lex was with me when that happened.
In Quebec, no, I don't know. Where did we go? Mont Tremblant?
No, when we were in when we drove up with oh no, maybe you weren't with me. Dave was with me.
Lex, what's the name of that band that Jason can't remember?
Mozzie Frubus?
Yes, that's it.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's going back.
You know what though? I took a wild guess, but I remember you came back from that trip. I didn't know it was that trip. Now, now I'm putting two and two together, but I don't, but you guys came back to it. And then I think like a year or two later, they came to New York area or maybe even Long Island specifically. And they were eclectically fantastic. They're such a weird band that it stuck in my head. And they were they did a song called King of Spain that was just really silly and fun. I don't know if they're still together, but they were a really weird band.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to point out that it was great that Lex knew that, but I want to acknowledge myself for the assist.
For throwing the loop.
Going for the assist.
You're like Penny Hardaway to a young Shaq.
Yeah, I kind of knew you would get it. I felt like you'd get it.
No, you did. You said it was really good.
Steve, what?
We both wanted to talk to Steve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Please.
Take it away, Ralph.
Oh, I just want to know because I think "da." There's a play called "da," and I know "da" in a lot of cultures is like slang or it's the word for dad.
Okay.
But is that what it means for your podcast or no?
No. Well, originally I started my podcast with a cousin of mine, and we share the same last names because we're from my father's side, right? So. The start of our names is DA, so So instead of being like THE podcast, we were like, oh, let's go with the podcast.
Oh yeah.
So a little spin on our last names. But then he's a millennial and he got bored pretty quickly. So then I carried it on my back, and now it is what it is today. So.
Have you had your cousin on as a guest since then?
I've had him on, I think, once or twice since he's left. Yes.
That's good. Yeah. And does he talk about how he regrets he left or anything, or I don't know?
I'm sure he does deep down. He feels it, but no, he won't tell me. And again, he knows if he ever wants to come on, even be a co-host, probably not a permanent co-host, but every once in a while, he's always welcome because I'm not one of those 3 strike type of guys. You fuck me once, that's it. See you later.
Yeah. We should have him on and then ask him to leave very quickly once he comes.
Right? That'd be awesome.
Just let him know that we got bored with him.
Oh shit.
Who have you have a lot of wrestlers, I know, and I know it's not a specific wrestler podcast, but you do have on a lot of wrestlers, which is very cool.
Yeah, so it's well my top 4 are like stand-up comedians, wrestlers, MMA fighters, and people in the video game industry, and then I sprinkle in like recording artists, actors here and there too, but those are like the top 4, and that's what I usually talk about. So I've had like all kinds of people from the WWE to AEW to Impact Wrestling, also people from the UFC, obviously. Yeah. So, and stand-up comedians, I've had a ton, people like Adam Hunter, Brian Scalaro, Camilla Cleese, and so forth and so on. And obviously, Sean, you've been a guest as well. So
yeah, that was a fun episode.
This is a thought that I've had for a while. Man, I would really love to see like some of the top tier wrestlers do Shakespeare. I feel like they'd probably kill it.
Ooh, yeah.
They'd probably be so good. They're really some of our in a strange way, they're really some of our best actors because they don't have the thing that diseases a lot of other American actors, which is they don't have a fear of being big and theatrical.
Right.
Like, and it's hard to train that into people to like want to,
Ralph, I've never had this thought until you've said this, but they are method acting because it's physical and it's like they're really feeling pain a lot of times.
Yeah, they really bleed.
Yeah.
hype themselves up. Yeah.
What's that?
The way they hype themselves up too, just to get that visceral like energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is a good talk because obviously, look what The Rock is doing, right? The highest paid actor right now, and he comes from wrestling.
Right.
Yeah, I used to not take it seriously, and I feel like such a fool now.
What's the best acting wrestler to you, Steve, and the best acting wrestler that hasn't gotten recognized as acting?
Ooh,
So, like,
yeah,
would be like The Rock, right? Who's like we know he's recognized in the industry, or John Cena, right? Cera's now getting. So there's a couple of people. Pick whoever you want, and also somebody who you think would be exceptional but hasn't had the opportunity.
Yes.
Holy shit, that's a long list of people, my friend. Wow, but
yeah, right?
Yeah, because like the ones that obviously pop out is The Rock, John Cena, right? I guess CM Punk is a big one. He used to, as they say in the business, cut good promos. So I think he would be a pretty good actor if given the chance. Oh, I don't know, maybe because I'm thinking like guys like that look like, so to speak, back in the 80s, Hulk Hogan-esque. Because you want those guys to stand out, but also be a good actor, because those are pretty hard to find nowadays. It's usually like smaller guys, and you could find those anywhere, really. If you want a good actor, you don't really have to search in wrestling. Yeah. But to like stand out completely, oh man, that is such a good question. I can't think of any. Like I said, maybe just CM Punk for now. But he's not even a wrestler anymore, so.
Yeah, so talking about CM Punk, like he's how bad of an MMA fighter is he?
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not going to defend the guy. It's true. But you know what? Everyone knows the reason why he got in that cage was for the name factor and to bring over those fans to get that money grab, so to speak. And like, you know what? How many people could say they actually win in an UFC cage and did it? Like, that's the one prop I'll give to the guy, that he had the balls to go in there and do it on very little training. So you know what? Yeah, he got punked out, so to speak, twice. But what can you do? Like, what do you expect? The guy trained for what? Maybe 5 years, if that. So compared to these other guys,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to fight him.
Agreed. I thought of I'm not big of a wrestling fan. I definitely did watch it as a kid, but I have an answer to Lex's question of who do you think would be a good actor, and I'm going to go old school wrestling. And we'll never have this opportunity because I don't even know if this guy's still alive or active or whatever. But Steve, do you remember a guy who, I think he played somebody else, and then he started playing, I feel like it was very briefly, he played like Lenny the Brain.
Lenny the Brain.
Do any of you guys remember this?
Are you thinking of the genius, Lenny Poffo?
Maybe. He came out as a very smart guy. I think
he wore like the high school gown with the hat. Yeah. Yes, that's the genius, Lenny Poffo. That's actually Macho Man's brother.
Oh, I think he'd be a good actor.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah.
So, hey,
yeah,
there you go.
Okay. All right.
The Brain. I love that you thought it was the Brain.
Yeah. Wasn't there a Brain? Wasn't there another?
Yeah, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Bobby the Brain.
Yes, that's it.
I in my mind, I combined two brains.
Two is better than one.
Yeah.
That's science.
So, I heard you wanted to play a game with us, Steve.
Oh yeah.
You have a game to play.
Yeah.
Because I'm no stand-up comedian. I can't bring the chops like you guys can, and you know what I mean. So I thought of a little game to play. I was thinking of more something like high or sober, like activities, but everyone knows everything is better high, so there's no point of playing that sort of game. So why don't we try doing high or drunk? What's better or easier to do in your like everyday or sort of activities? And then I could just you guys could ring off whatever, or if you have a story to share,
we're just yelling off stuff, or you're asking us questions and then
well, I'll say a topic and then you guys just say high or drunk. What's better?
Oh, all right.
Okay. Because I have one for drunk.
Okay, go for it.
Fighting is better drunk than stoned.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But you have more awareness when you're high, so you might actually dodge some stuff.
Maybe. I'm just
thinking better for fighting with your parents.
Ooh, I'd rather do that stoned than drunk.
Yeah.
I'd actually rather physically fight. I know I'd probably more likely get in a fight drunk.
Definitely
high, but I'd rather be high while fighting.
That makes sense.
I think I was just thinking of the Jackie Chan movie Drunken Master.
Dude, I had a 6-month period where I watched that movie over and over and over. I love that movie.
Oh wow.
I love that movie.
The end is amazing. The end is incredible.
Like over Jet Li, and like I love Bruce Lee as a philosopher, but I'm a Jackie Chan guy. I'm a Jackie Chan man.
The vulnerable actor.
Yeah.
All right. Steve,
Yeah.
go for it.
Take it away, Steve. Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Let's go with watching a movie. High or drunk? What's better?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Bye.
Yeah, that one's easy. Okay. How about eating or food? What's better? High or drunk?
Hi.
Hi. I might make more chances drunk, but I'm gonna enjoy it more high.
I see where it comes from. Well, I'm gonna go with I could eat more while high, but it's more enjoyable when I'm drunk. Because I come from the old school age where I used to go clubbing back in the day. So after the club, you go hit the hot dog stand, and that was the best food of my life.
I want to say high, but I think I'm going to pick drunk because of those fun times of being younger and going out and then going to a diner afterwards.
Right?
Going to a diner afterwards.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, real quick. Do you remember that time? Were you with us when we did Opposite Day and we went to all these bars and drank coffee and then we went to diners at night and got drunk?
No.
It's
I
funny.
didn't go with you. No.
Yeah. No, that was a fun
Oh, I
time.
missed out.
So funny.
No, why did I ever get married?
All right, Steve, the floor is yours again.
Yeah.
All right. This one's interesting. How about this? Sex, high or drunk?
Ooh, definitely high.
Hi.
I'm gonna go drunk.
Yeah?
Yeah, me too. You last longer.
Yeah. Yeah. And less inhibitions or questioning myself.
Yes. You're less
You know?
embarrassed too. You'll just go do whatever you want. The chains are off. Yeah.
Okay.
That reminds me of a oh man, I really want to do a Norm McDonald joke right now, and I'm not going to do it. But it reminds me of a good one.
Okay.
You referenced that it was Norm Macdonald, so you could do it.
It's he's just talking about sex, and he's like when men are going to do sex, you go into a room and you close the curtains and you're like and then after it's over you're like I'm sorry, let me pick my trousers up and be a civilized human being. It's just I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but I love that.
It's a great impression.
I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna jump in real quick and steal a round and ask you guys.
Go.
What's better, going to Splash Pad, drunk or high?
What's Splash Pad?
I don't know. Pedro Pimentel said that he went drunk once to Splash Pad.
Oh, that's like a water slide park, like like a water park, so stuff like that.
Okay, so
guess.
water park.
Definitely drunk.
I think
I don't know.
I think I've never done either, but I'm gonna guess drunk. It's
But aren't you
weird.
scared of drowning though? Like you'd think you'd probably drown while you're drunk. At least high, you'll know how to swim a little bit.
Or bouncing off of a tall slide. Just like going down it and bouncing off of it, sort of.
Right.
I want to go high just for the lazy river.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, definitely.
You're allowed to smoke.
It's a bowl of food on my chest.
Yeah, if you could smoke on the lazy river, then I'm all for
Yes.
stoner food. Yeah, that would be great.
Can I tell a story about I think pretty much the one time I've been to a water park?
Yeah.
I went with my friends in high school. I don't like rides, slides, roller coasters. I don't like any of that stuff. It makes me not nauseous, but it gives me a feeling I hate. But I went once with this girl who was like, what was the name of the girl in the Kelly Kapowski? Just like this like beautiful but like lovable and awesome girl, like everybody had a crush on. And I never even considered I ever had a chance with her, and I didn't. But like because she was there, I raced down every slide. I was like, I will not acknowledge or respect any fear today. I'm just going. I never. It was amazing. I really was so brave that day.
This is a very Shakespearean story about a water park.
Amazing what hormones will make you do.
To counteract that, me and Jay grew up by Action Park, which is in New Jersey, or was. Now it's Dorney. I don't know if it's still functioning as Dorney Park, but they've made movies. That was
Six Flags.
Yeah, well, Jackass made that Action Park movie or something like
Yeah.
that. But that was based off of what we grew up with. And literally everybody would leave with a couple Band-Aids. You know, it was rare that you didn't get scuffed up.
A couple Band-Aids as just souvenirs.
So fun.
Oh, you mean wearing them?
Yeah, wearing them. You
Remember they used to have the Alpine thing, and these little like cars that you'd go down with just a brake handle, and you were in a cart, and it was down the side of a mountain.
concrete
but it was
luge.
It was a luge,
shit.
yeah, basically. Thank you.
Wow.
It was a concrete luge, and the only thing you had were brakes. You were on this little plastic little square with a couple like the rollerblade type wheels, and you had brakes that like rubber little things that on each side that you could pull.
But they sent you down two at a time, so there'd be two luges. So you'd wind up like trying to race your friend down, and like they tell you to brake, and you'd be like, no, I'm gonna beat you down, and you'd hear about kids like skipping out of the thing and everything like that.
You hear about kids still going. To this day, they're still
going.
And by the way, I would rather do that high.
Yes, good call.
I want to drink and drive.
It'd be a great tagline for an amusement park if their tagline or their slogan was like Action Park, you'll get tetanus.
Yeah. I'm gonna do something that we've never done on this show before, and it's that say if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We've never done anything like that, we should.
There you go.
Okay.
Steve, did you grow? What's that?
Steve was involved in that. The way
I wanted Steve to know that I was going back to him. I didn't want him to know that. I didn't want him to think that we were only going to be talking about our want for subscribers for the rest of his time here.
But I will say, if I could jump in, Steve, for a second.
Yeah.
Of course.
If you're watching this on a different forum besides YouTube, then please move over to YouTube because that'll most likely get us more monetary value.
Yeah, definitely.
We'd be more supportive.
Good call. Steve, did you grow up going on luges as a Canadian child?
No, not at all. We go tobogganing up here, or tubing. That's what we call it, where we go down the hills in the winter.
Bobsledding.
No, not real bobsledding, but yeah. And then back in my day, we used to use garbage bags to go down the hills.
Yeah. You know what changed the game for me when I was a kid was I started wearing cleats as a teenager. I started wearing cleats. Yeah, I would put on my football cleats so I can climb up the hill fast.
Smart. Okay, I thought you were wearing them like around, like as your regular shoe or something. Like if a soccer game was gonna bust out or something, and you're ready.
No, just for sleigh riding purposes.
Oh, okay.
It was a game changer.
Steve, we call it football.
Well, you guys are European.
Do you guys, who on here has ridden a sleigh before in their life, or a sled or whatever?
Like a real sleigh, like that you see in the movies?
No, just a sled or a sleigh, whatever that is.
I did.
Never.
I used to have one of those red with the two metal rails on and the wood that went on.
Well,
it.
like the one like Home
Alone,
Alone that he goes down the staircase.
Yeah.
Just
oh shit!
Yeah.
I've done
I'm like
wooden,
46. So.
I've done plastic. I've done wooden. I've done plastic. I've done inner tubes. I've done garbage bags. I think I rode my friend once. I rode a friend's face head first, and I sat on the back.
Yeah.
I've never even seen anybody do it.
What?
I've never even seen anybody go down a sled or never. I'm from Brooklyn.
I went sled riding in Brooklyn this winter. I went sled riding in Brooklyn this winter.
I'm from East New York. We didn't. I just never have seen it. I've never even. I'm
Really?
sad now.
Wow.
Wow, Steve sounded very sad as well. I'm sorry.
I did. Well, being Canadian, come on, you got to play in the snow a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are gonna have to turn around the van again and come back before all the snow melts, man.
Right.
Well, Ralph, if anything, next winter we're gonna do a Stoner Morning Show, a Stoner Morning Show exclusive. And
Yeah.
then
That's it.
There you go.
No, we're just gonna make him watch people do it.
We should do that right now.
Yeah. You said you
Stoner
never
Morning
seen
Sled.
Yeah. And he might get very excited and try to get onto a sled, and then we'll be like, no.
next year.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah. Steve, this is a fun game. Do you have any more rounds for
Yeah,
us?
I got a couple more quick ones off the bat. Okay, how about playing video games?
Ooh.
Hi.
You lose
Me
yourself.
and Lex used to do that all the time.
Yeah, it's true. You do lose yourself, and then the time just flies. You're right.
Yeah.
I think I like getting high and watching video games. Like, I have fun just watching friends play video games. I don't need a controller.
Really? Oh, you're one of those. Oh, come on.
Well, I think playing
It's
is
awesome. It was awesome hanging out with you guys always because you guys would be like, no, you go ahead and play. We'll just watch and get stoned with you.
Oh,
And I'm just like, oh, this is so awesome.
right? I wish I had friends like that. Everyone would just wanted to play and hog the controller.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago, a little more than that, when the trend of people just like watching people play video games online started, I was like, this is weird. That like this will go away soon, and it is completely not gone away. It's a whole industry now.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
Have you guys heard of games done quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I have. Yeah.
I would love to go there and like interview people and like hang out and watch. Like, it seems like just a fun event, and people are playing video games and raising money. I don't know. I would love for us to go.
Let's do it.
What
need
is
to
it?
find. I'll find out this.
Yeah. What's that, Ralph?
I kind of get the gist, but I didn't really know what it was that you were describing. I didn't know. I thought it was just like a series of videos. I didn't know it was like a place.
Who could describe it well? What it is?
Wouldn't it be like? I think from what I thought it was it was a live competition of players playing video games that was broadcast in front of a live audience behind them in a small theater,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know how big of it, whatever theater they can, fill out. But every time I've seen it was packed.
Yeah.
So they'd have on the theater stage a giant screen, and then players sitting there playing in front of them, and everybody got to watch them through whatever game they played.
Yeah. And
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it's usually about getting through it the quickest.
You can.
Yeah.
And they get bonus points for how many points they get and stuff like that. But usually, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other genre now. Is like the speed running of video games. Like you go on Twitch, you see these guys clearing like the original Super Mario Brothers in less than 2 minutes, and other games in like an hour that should take you like 16 hours to clear. It's like, wow, the patience to get to that level and be that good at a game.
And it's incredible seeing glitches, like somebody skipping a level because it's like, oh, you go by this tree and squat 4 times and then you skipped a boss. It's like,
now, can I throw this by you guys? When I watch that stuff, I throw it back to when I first started playing, like, say, Super Mario's and how long it took. And then I remember me and my best friend doing that to ourselves, seeing how fast you can go through it. And I think this is the weird juxtaposition of, like, I feel like that's a weird microcosm of life. Like learning that it's a game, and the more times you play it, the more situations you've seen this scenario, the less it's a issue. You could just navigate it quicker and then get through that, and move on to the next challenge. Does that make sense?
Yeah, philosophical on us.
I was gonna say that's way over my head. Sorry, I'm too high to ingest that shit right now.
You know what?
People speed run life.
Yeah.
Yep, of course.
Yeah. Live fast and die young. That's speed running.
Right. People speed read books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Yeah,
Hey,
people
Brian.
speak books, Jay.
Steve, I wanted to ask, what
Sure.
is the highest viewed and or downloaded episode of your podcast? And do you feel it's the episode that's most emblematic of your podcast?
Ooh,
Wow.
that's a good question. While I stall here and pull up the stats,
Yeah.
let's go to another one quickly. How about a funeral, high or drunk? Quickly, while we stall.
Drunk.
Wow.
I'm gonna go drunk.
I think it depends on who passed away and who else is there.
All right.
Like
All
if
right.
it's a grandmother, I'd rather be drunk. If it's a friend, I think I'd rather be stoned.
Okay.
Why? Do you
Well,
have a reason not to
yeah.
do?
Well, because
Yeah, quick.
if it's a family member, like a grandmother, I think there's going to be other people there drinking.
Yeah,
So I would do that with them.
but so it's more communal. You know that, like with a friend, you're most likely more friends are gonna be high.
Right.
Interesting. Jay,
Ugh. Drunk. Definitely drunk.
Shit.
I go drink just to relax my inhibitions of being emotional or something like that.
Mm-mm.
It's the only
I don't know why I'm thinking this. This is a terrible thought, but I feel like it would be. This is a terrible thought, but it'd be really funny to me to go to a funeral drunk and out of grief start a fight.
What the hell?
wouldn't be the first time.
Funny,
Oh.
Ralph, funny you say that. That was my reason why I'd go drunk.
Oh yeah,
I'd be that guy.
That's so chaotic. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Hey guys, it worked. We have a new subscriber on YouTube, Jackie F.
You
Yeah.
did it, Steve. That's all you.
Thanks
I
for-
have
Jackie
one.
F, our super fan.
Yeah.
I have one. I want to do one higher drunk, guys. Here's
Okay, go
mine.
for it.
Here's mine. All right, real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, would you guys rather do this higher drunk?
What the fuck?
That's
depends.
the old,
Actually,
that,
are you
that's one of the
receiving or
Reefer
giving?
Madness things.
I'm gonna say drunk.
I bet you it says they're high, but they're definitely drunk. I gotta be drunk to do that.
My favorite part of this is that was it Steve? Steve asked, "Oh, well, who are you receiving or giving?" Because also the question is, who is receiving and who is giving?
Yeah. And the
Oh,
other,
that's a good call too.
and the other question is, Ralph, did you have this image bookmarked?
yeah.
It's a screenshot saver.
I just scrolled past it and I was like, "Holy
What
shit!"
the fuck?
Oh, that made me real happy.
Wow.
That is hilarious.
One of those old propaganda, marijuana propaganda things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what that was.
I don't know if that would discourage or encourage.
Exactly.
Steve, most listened to episode. What do you got?
All right. So I got it is episode 105. So this is still back in my early days because I've hit the 200s now. It is with MMA fighter Paddy the Baddy Pimblett from Liverpool. Apparently, I have a huge Liverpool following, so I'm assuming that's the reason why. So everyone tuned into that one, and it was a great episode. So, but I'm actually surprised that would be my number one because not to put Paddy down or anything, but I've had a lot bigger guests than he has. But hey, I find that the ones that I think are going to pop are always the ones that flop, and the ones that are going to flop are the ones that pop. So it's just weird how it works sometimes.
How did mine do?
How did yours do?
Did it
Yeah,
do
but that's not really fair because your episode's only been out 2 weeks. This episode's been out for like 3 years now, right?
Yeah, I just want to know.
What episode number is it?
Here, I'll tell you right now. Let's see.
Like, because people are curious about that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious. Like,
I know you did. Oh god, now I can't get to it. You did.
I don't think I've seen Paddy Pimblett fight before. He doesn't.
Whatever you do.
He's very young. He's a UFC. Well, he's been scouted by the UFC. He just doesn't want to go yet because he's still fairly young. And again, go listen to the episode. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, he's a former cage fighting champion. That's probably the biggest organization over in Europe, other than the UFC. So
Yeah.
He's visually striking. He looks like a video game character.
Yeah.
no, your episode did fairly strong.
Okay.
The one thing I don't do is reveal numbers. I feel like
that's cool.
I hate to say it because a lot of people do it, but I think it's a douchey thing to
No.
post on Instagram. Like, hey guys, look, I've hit 100,000 million downloads. Look how good I am.
I'll say it right here. Sean's episode did 100,000 million.
It's a nice boost to just know it did strong. That's all.
Yeah, it's average. It didn't flop. It's not like you're not going to make me Joe Rogan level, but you know what I mean. It did fairly all right.
I am average. That's like, I mean, it's good to get that confirmation.
Well,
I have a workout
Steve,
plan. I have a
you'll be
workout
happy
plan
to
that will
know.
make you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said, Steve, you'll be happy to know that you being on our show, we've already got one more subscriber.
So there you go. I did my job.
Yeah. Steve,
Also,
how
Steve,
how
I
can we
have a
find
workout plan.
Well, I was
Steve,
just
tell us
how can we find you? Yeah.
All right. So on Instagram and Twitter, you can follow myself. It's under Finga Style. So that's FINGASTYLZ. And for the podcast, you can follow it on Twitter, the podcast DAP. Everything is DA, or just Google DA podcast. The first one that pops up. And the easiest thing to do is follow the podcast. On every description of every episode, I got all my links, all my merchandise stuff, everywhere you could support me. So just Google me. Like I said, it's the easiest thing. Every episode comes out each and every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So please support the cause. And the easiest thing to do to really support the cause is rate, subscribe, review on all major platforms.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve.
Look at that guy's
Steve.
t-shirt. Look at that guy's t-shirt. Kill a t-shirt.
Yeah. Definitely.
Full
Steve,
support. Yes, sir.
the podcast, Drunk or Stoned.
Stoned all day.
Yeah.
There hasn't been one guest that I've had on that I haven't smoked a joint before talking to them. So there's my secret.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome.
This is. I wanted to say this, Steve. If you're really interested in this, I have a workout and diet plan that will make you Joe Rogan.
Okay.
In case you're interested.
Yeah. Steve, thanks for coming on. Thanks so much.
No, really appreciate it, guys.
Steve, too, man.
It's been a blast.
Yeah.
Well, guys, as we're
Yeah,
winding
nice one,
down,
boys.
Yeah.
exceptional once again.
Yeah. This one was a great one, I feel like.
Yeah, it was really nice, really fun.
Very eclectic and enjoyable.
Yeah.
Ralph, what do you got going on coming up? Anything?
Let me see. This weekend, I have to sit on a panel like soon. Anya and I are gonna get out of here from here and go to a hotel. We're gonna spend 2 nights in a hotel because I gotta be in an adjudication panel basically to help judge applicants trying to come into the BFA conservatory for college I teach at.
Are you wearing a shirt that says judge?
Yeah.
It's some sort of hardcore
he is.
band from New York that I don't know anything about.
Oh yeah.
I just like the color.
That's what you have to do today.
Yeah, it's funny. I had to do it for 2 days. 2 days, like 4 hours each day, just sit and watch people act and talk to them, and then I'm gonna teach on Sunday night.
Ralph.
The last, huh?
If you could give advice to anybody who's applying for it and you're about to adjudicate them, what would you tell them? Besides that you really want it to work out.
That if they really want it to work out.
No, that you want to. Like I'm gonna guess that every time you watch a clip of somebody coming on, you really want them to excel and be that one, right?
For sure, yeah. I would say I just hope. I think the biggest thing that I would say is know that we. This is I don't know how people feel about this, but I feel like for students, for the most part, I don't think students realize, or maybe they do realize, that if you're sitting in front of people who've been acting for most of their life, they can see right through you. So you can't really hide anything. The best thing you can do is just come in and try your very best and have been prepared and to try to be present in the moment. and that's it. I don't think there's anything else you can do. I think it's, I don't know. I go back and forth on this. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't say it, but I always feel like it's astonishing to me how much, this is the best way to put it, how much of yourself you see in a young student. And most students, you're like, yeah, there's something that they're doing that you're like, I was there at some point, you know, and you can see it so clear. I don't know. That's the best thing I'd say. I don't know. I hadn't even thought of that till you said it, Licks. I don't know what I would say.
All right. One of the things I guess I also asked that because I always remember it was one of the things that helped me start, I think, auditioning was recognizing that everybody did want me to succeed. That even though they were there judging me, they were really hoping that I would kill it. You know, instead of looking for the flaws, they were looking for the goodness, you know? So,
you know what I think would be very useful for schools that are going through this process to do? And this is going to sound like I'm joking, but I'm very serious. I think in these situations, a school should have one of the janitors on the panel as well. Because you hear what the artists and teachers say, but then you might get a janitor. It's just like, we should give this person a chance.
He's part of the faculty.
Yeah.
What if the janitor secretly wanted to be a performer the whole time, and this is their Good Will Hunting moment, and they just started singing beautiful opera during someone else's audition?
Now he got his foot in the door.
Hey, our newest subscriber on YouTube, Jackie F, said, "So many laughs. Enjoyed this very much."
Awesome.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah.
Oh, can I plug? I'm going to plug my show. I'm in a show called Flow State on All Arts TV.
Yeah.
I'm one of two hosts, me and Sophia Kafis, and we interview artists in North Brooklyn during the COVID era. So go to All Arts TV and you can watch it digitally. And it's something I'm super proud of. I'm super proud of it to be a part of it.
I haven't watched your first episode yet, but I watched the first episode. It was really good.
It's a cool show. Yeah, it's made by Cyprian Productions, which is my friend Minos and his wife Liz. And yeah, I'm so thrilled that I got to be a part of it, man. I love it. I haven't even watched Sophia's episode yet either. We're probably going to do that this weekend as well while we're in the hotel.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Awesome. Well, we're at the end pretty much.
Sean, I know your did your thing come out this week on Spotify?
Yeah, my birthday is on Tuesday, and I think the 10-minute album is coming out on Spotify on Tuesday. The best 10 minutes of my life.
Nice.
Oh,
Lex,
man,
what are you doing, man?
Just me and Sean did a solo thing that I think we're gonna do regularly once a week, where we just talked a little bit more comedy focused, I think, and just I don't know, just because bodies and we miss each other.
Yeah.
So if you guys if you haven't seen,
it was fun.
Man, this is what we should do. Like when we talked about this before, but like to create more Stoner Morning content to orbit around the show. I can't believe that hadn't occurred to me before.
That's why internally, in our internal chat, I wrote robot reading the news. I think that should be a video that one of us makes of just a robot reading the news. I think that's funny.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
All right, I might have some ideas. Maybe we could illustrate something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude,
either way, like I said, and I think it's a testament. We mentioned it when we had the guest, but like the eclecticity of ourselves, and I just love you guys.
Yeah.
Good job once again.
Yeah. Love you too. All. Good job. Very funny. Yeah. All right.
Hey, everybody. Thank you.